Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over how to create a quick melee 1-2-3 combo. And as usual, with these videos, I try to keep them to a specific area in game development. And this is just setting up a 1-2-3 combo using the melee module from Game Creator. One of the things here, the first thing we're going to do after you saw the video there, one of the first things I want you to do with the player character itself is put a melee script on it. If you don't have this on the player character, the module simply won't work, right? So to do that is add component character melee, and that's it. And that's all that's needed on this character itself. Okay, for organizational purposes, I put a combat folder here. I'll go over everything slowly, but in the combat folder here, I have a bunch of triggers that will react on start. From there, down here in the prefab section, the project section, sorry, I have a combat folder again, unarmed. So in this video, she will be doing unarmed combat, and there's a few key differences from the use of weapons. So her fist will be the actual weapon, right? So she won't be using a sword or anything for this particular demo. It's just a simple unarmed combat. And I have 3 folders set up here. I have clips. Okay, this is where I'm going to have all my combo clips plus the combo states. Okay, so brawler block, that's like if she had the shield, she'll use her fist to block. Brawler idle. Okay, and prefabs, I have the prefab set up, and weapons again. So I set the weapon, which will be a sword, to brawler. The shield will be a brawler block. Okay. So once you have your character set up, the first thing, the next thing you want to do is create a hitbox for her fist, her feet, whatever you're going to be throwing at the character, the other enemies, right? Okay, so in here now, okay, so my prefab, I have everything set up, but I'm going to go over what I have here. Okay, so I had set up a hitbox. The hitbox is easier to show you. So I have a mesh render. I turned it off at runtime. The hitbox is just a simple sphere geo. Okay, so if I put this in the scene, you can see right now it's pretty big. I was just using this for testing purposes, but it's just a simple sphere. Okay, this hitbox will be it will be attached to certain aspects of her limbs, like her hands, her feet, or what have you. Okay, so let me delete that from the scene. Okay, so if we look into the hitbox prefab, you will see what we have here. The mesh render, I turned it off on runtime, and all we have is a sphere collider. Okay, on the melee prefab, this is the important one here. This is the one that's actually going to make this work as well, like how you have the melee script. Without this being attached to her, or your player character, it simply won't work, right? So for the melee prefab, the little hack that you have to do for this particular one is to use the sword weapon prefab that comes with Game Creator. Okay, in the sword weapon prefab, you'll have the sword set up with how it captures the hits and the blade trail and all that good stuff, right? So and the blade component here, that script, this is vital. This is vital. So how we get this onto a melee unarmed melee character, okay, is by using a duplicate copy of this. Okay, so in my prefabs now, so if I have a melee prefab, okay, in my prefab, I deleted the geo, okay, and I set the capture hips to segment instead of box or a sphere. Okay, and the blade trail, I don't need a blade trail, and I set the resolution, the length of this capture hips really tiny. So you can have it longer, but I set it to 0.1. Okay, and that's all you need for the prefab, and we'll go over why we're going to use that in a second. With the melee prefab, you also want to set up a tag melee. This is if, for instance, I want to attack these objects here. I could put a melee tag on these objects. So every time this melee prefab interacts with this melee tag on these objects here, like for instance, right? I have the tag and its Trojan set up to melee. So every time that melee tag hits there, it collides and registers. That's another tutorial. All right, so from here, let's set up our clips, okay? So the first thing you want to do, I'm going to create a combo here. So the first thing I did was game creator, melee clip, and melee clip creates one of these for you, okay? Right now here it's empty, so I'll just go over what we have, what I have here. Okay, so combo 1. In my combo 1, I'm using an unarmed attack right, and then combo 2, I cycle to my left hand, and then in combo 3, back and forth until I'm finished with the kick. Okay, so in unarmed combat, here are the settings I have here. I have a transition set at 0.1 and then 0.15 transition out. When you're using animations, you should extract the root motion from the animation. Okay, and I added a sound effect here for every time she throws this attack. Okay, again using Ellen's sound clips. All right, I left all my hit pause and all that stuff standard for now, default for now, sorry. All this stuff here, default, we're not focusing on that for this particular tutorial. We'll get to this this stuff in a bit on execute. We'll get to that stuff in a second. And once I'm done with this, I hit the duplicate button. It's important that you don't hit like if you don't hit Control D, because you'll just create not only you'll create a clone of this. You want these individual clips to be their own entity. So if you hit the duplicate button here as opposed to hitting Control D, these will act as their own individual clips. Okay. Okay, so I just created duplicates of it, and I cycle through to whatever animation I wanted to use. Okay. Now, air stomp is the same thing. This is a slightly different combo, slightly different attack, and I'll show you that in the when we set up our combat. Brawler block state. We also need a couple states. So the block idle. This is how your character is going to be in an idle state while they're in combat, right? You know how you have the bouncing fighters or whatever have you. That's their idle state. So I use an unarmed idle for that particular state. On the block, this is a simple state, and then the brawler idle is a more locomotion state. The simple state for this one, because there's simply going to be just guarding, right? I don't need to move or anything like that. And this is a locomotion state, so we can set up a bunch of different animation clips. You can go crazy here setting up animation clips, but right now we only have character, the idle. Okay, so once you're done with your prefabs creation, your clips creation, your state creation, then in my weapons section here now, I create for the weapons. So again, game creator, melee weapon or melee shield, right? So the weapon itself will be her fist, and the shield will be her fist again, but this would be the block. So now let's set up the weapon. Okay, so in the brawler section, the brawler weapon that we created, I call it fisticuffs and fighter. We're using the brawler block, the melee shield that we set up here. Okay, and I have the brawler idle as well set up in the state section here. Okay, the melee prefab is what you need to be in the scene at all times for it to work. Is the one that we created here, and we set it to the character's root. Okay, the effects section, I'm not worried about that because she's not drawing a weapon. She's always in combat. She's always ready. Okay, so from there, we get into the fun stuff. This is the combo creator. The combo creator is exceptionally fun when you're starting to set up the system here that your character is going to take. So my combo 1, I have 4 different combat attacks. Okay, and each of these are defined by the key that I have set up. So the key here, you have A to F. This basically is the combo, like say for instance the combo 1 of the game system. It doesn't matter that this is A is not A on a button or A on a keyboard. It's just A to define this set of combos, right? You can assign it to any controller button or key button later on. Okay, so it's important that these are in order that you want. This is priority. It goes from top to bottom. Okay, so this is the priority, and the conditions are different for certain things. So the condition for the air stomp is not a combo, it's just a one-off, right? So the condition for this one, I set it to on air. You have a whole bunch, like I have to block. So if you have to do a perfect block, you can attack right after you, running forward, running backwards, input forward, that type of thing, right? These are one-off clips. Now to set up a combo, you can hit the plus button here and subtract or add as many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different combo keys in one combo list, right? So let's take this one out, okay, and we'll go here to set up our combos. So combo 1 is set to none because this is the start of a combo, okay? So I will go here and I'll drag the combo clip I set up earlier and put that in here. Then I add another one, and this is the second input. So when I hit my whatever key I have set up, in my case I believe is X. So whatever I have set up for the combo attacks, the first time I hit that is going to perform the combo 1. If I hit that button in a certain window, it's going to go to combo 2 and on until I get to the end, okay, within certain windows. I have these combos set up to none because again, I don't want a condition to be on anything else. Okay, so my combo 1, my combo 2, my combo 3, my combo 4. And I increment these each time for the combos. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. It's actually really fun to create the combos once you get a hang of this. So with all of that set up now, we have our clip set up, we have our block set up, we have our prefab and our weapons and our shield. Actually, let me go into the brawler block really quickly. In here, I have the blocking, just a name. I don't have a prefab setup for this, and the attachment will be on the right hand. Okay, she's not attaching a shield or anything, so I just had it the attachment set to right hand. Again, no effects, and my combat state for the defense state is brawler block, that prefab that state that we created earlier. Everything else is just set to the default. Okay, once we have all of that set up now, it's time to go into the triggers. So on the triggers here, in the scene itself, I have 4 triggers set up. Okay, so let's take a look at each of these triggers. Okay, so the first trigger here on start, I have it combat ready. Okay, then the second trigger on key down. Okay, so this is my joystick button 0. I'm using the PlayStation controller for this one. On joystick button 0 is X for me. Okay, on key down, I do my on-arm combo actions. Okay, and then on key down for the joystick button 6, which is the left bottom trigger, I have my guard up, and then when I release that key, my guard goes down. Okay, so let's go through each of these combat scenarios here, these actions here. Okay, so on start for the first one, combat ready. So let's look at that. Very simple. Okay, so here you go, character player, draw, brawler. Okay, so draw brawler is kind of misnomer. It basically is like drawing a weapon. So on the start of play, when the game starts, I want her to draw her weapons, which are her fists, right? So the first thing she does is character player draw brawler, which is the brawler melee weapon that we set up here. And to set this up, very simply, you go into action and go to melee, and melee draw weapon, and it'll create this. You set it to player, and you drag your melee weapon into here. Okay, very simple. That's all you need for that one. Once we so go back to that one. Once we start the combat actions now, her weapon are drawn, her fists are drawn, then I want to start getting into my actions here. Okay, so with this one here, on a key down, every time I press the key, we're going to perform these combos, the combo actions here. So we'll go into here, very simple again. Okay, so we input A on melee. So this is the key that we set up prior, right? So the A key. Okay, so again, to do that, very simply, go to action, melee. Okay, input melee attack. Set it to player and set that key that you had set up for that particular combo. Done. That's all you need. Okay, go back to the combo. And then for the third trigger, you can pretty much guess what's going to happen, right? So you got the combo 6 here, which is the left trigger. You're going to unarmed combat actions. Again, melee starts blocking. Very, very simple. I mean, this is quite remarkable how easy this is. And melee blocking here. And then we've set the player to start blocking. And yes, you guessed it, unarmed guard down, right? Stop blocking. Simple as that. Okay, so once we have the trigger set up, let's go back quickly to the combos that we have set up here. All right, because now we're going to get into how we're going to attach the hitbox every time we make a swing or punch or kick. Okay, so we have to attach that hitbox to interact with the objects in the scene, right? To collide with the objects in the scene. Down here, what we wanted to do is every time we make this attack with the right hand or with any other body part, we want to attach the hitbox to that body part to interact with the objects in the scene. Okay, so the first thing I did down here was on execute. I want to attach that hitbox to the right hand because I'm using her right fist in that attack animation. Then I want to wait for a few seconds for it to register. And then after we wait, we remove that object from her right hand. So we don't always have all these collisions on every body part. Okay, and to do that, simply go to character, type in attachment, right? And you use the character attachment. And from there, we do it for each one. Okay, but then we change it to the left hand, the game object, remove left hand. Make sure that you set both for the attachment on the right, remove on the right, and because if you don't, these objects will stay in the scene, which you do not want, right? And on this one particular, you have it on the foot, right? And I remove it from the right foot. So when we run the game, I'll show you. I'll do a little debug and show you how this particular section works. So once we have that all those things set up, all we do is hit play. Okay, let's test it out. Sorry, I had an error here. So I said joystick button 0 is X. No, this is square on the PlayStation controller. Okay, so the first thing that I had set up was that jump attack, right? In our combo creator. Right, this is the hammer fall from the actual example. It kind of works here, right? Okay, so from here now, let's throw some combos. Let's have some fun. Yeah. Okay, so now let me show you that hitbox that I was telling you earlier, okay? So the hitbox here, let's just put the mesh renderer on. And every time we throw a punch, it appears and then disappears, right? There you have it. Okay, and let's turn that off. Whoa, that was excellent. And there you have it. Simple combo. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was a lot of fun figuring out, and it's a lot of fun creating this stuff. I can't believe how easy Game Creator has made this development process for me. Absolutely incredible. Until next time, see you guys. Enjoy creating, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.